All right. I realize it. I talk too quietly all the time. I have so much to say. So much I've learned. Are you ready to hear stuff? Oh my god, this was crazy. Reading this. So, what was this? Why am I waiting? Blah, blah, blah. What am I doing? Just fucking around. So, first, let me say my trip was amazing. Um, I had a point where I told my friends I feel drunk, obviously without drinking. So, I'm like getting back to my normal state of being. Not that I'm drunk usually, although my dad seems like it. He just doesn't give a fuck, I think. All right, so at one point, I'll just say one part about the trip is that there's a girl who's in the friend group who's not really my friend. Like we've never we've had conversations, but we don't text each other or anything. Um, and she's Persian. So at one point, after drinking a little bit, she's like, "I want to tell you something." I was like, "Okay." And she was trying to say it on the bus, and it was too loud. And then at dinner, I was like, "What is it that you wanted to say?" She's like, "Come sit here." So she said, "I just wanted to tell you, like, from the moment I met you, that, and I told everyone last night that you bring a lot of peace with you, that you just have good energy and you're a good person and shit like this." And then I don't, I just said thank you. It's like, thanks. Uh, Hard for me to take compliments, but I was like, what can you, what am I supposed to say? I don't know. And she just said like I have good energy and I'm a good person and shit like this. I don't know how you even know that, but thanks. So then we started talking about what she's going through. I don't even know how. I don't know how this fucking happens to me. So she's a little lost, as we all are, and I started to open up her mind as to how she's creating her own suffering, for lack of a better word. And she was crying, and she hugged me and stuff, and she is doing. She reminds me a lot of somebody I knew in my past. Um, they think the same way, where it's like they torture themselves mentally, and devalue themselves. No one will love me because I'm this, or I don't have this, or whatever, which is very common. It's not just one person that's like that, but it's a very common sentiment. So, um, talked about alchemy and talked about Jung, and I was like, read As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. She's like, what if I try and nothing happens? It's like, what the fuck are you doing now? That's so important. Just fucking your life up as it is. Like, just try something else. Um, so that was like, I was like, oh, like maybe I'm supposed to be here. Um, I don't know. It's up to her to do the work or not. I have no idea. But the last little update I got or I made was about learning about a new aspect of um, individuation, which is the dark night of the soul, which I already knew about, but now it's the dark night of the senses. So without knowing that was a thing, one by one, I got rid of all of my vices. It was just a natural, I didn't read and say, I need to do this. That's the bizarre thing about when I discovered Jungian psychology. It's like I went through the dark night of the soul, or at least a phase of it, the hard part. And then when I came out, I learned about Jung, and I was like, "Holy fuck, this was supposed to happen! Holy fuck, there's a God or there's a spiritual path or everything happens for a reason. It was like fucking blew my mind. But I went through it the hard way. Actually, the girl last night was saying, "Don't you wish you had someone like you helping you?" I was like, "Fucking yes, obviously." She's like, "Don't you feel like yes? I feel everything, but this is how it needed to happen. No one could have told me shit. I wouldn't have accepted it. I had to learn directly from the universe to know that the universe is in charge, to know that God's in charge. Excuse me, to only be insensitive to the creator of all things. But fuck me, man. It would be nice at one point to have someone show up and be like, yes, my child, this way. Or this is what you're doing wrong. Give me a shortcut or something. Fuck. When I'm in deep thought, I start losing weight. My brain takes so much uh, resources because I'm a fucking genius. Now, wait till you hear about this. Now, Anima and Animus. Okay. Let me start with Animus. Stages of Animus development in women. So, inside every man is an injured woman energy. And the stages of our life are outlined by Mr. Jung. And the woman has the same thing. Inside of a woman is an injured man. And the stages of our life or even our partners represent where we are in this development. I feel like it's getting dark. Can I turn on the lights without fucking this video up? I'm always unhappy with lighting. Fuck. Ow. I'm okay. I thought one light would be enough, and then I was like, there's fucking, it's gonna keep getting darker. Give me all the light. Let there be light. Let me be light, for fuck's sake. I'm tired of losing weight, but I want to be light in other ways, emotionally. Okay, listen to this shit. Listen to this shit. Stages of. Can I continue? You ready? Stages of animus development in women. I'll circulate back to men, but listen to this. She fears, hates, and loves him. Because of abuse or abandonment from men with whom she identified during childhood, such as her father, a fatherly figure, older brother, male relative, or family friend, a woman in this stage completely denies and suppresses her animus as alien inside and outside of herself. She trusts her mother and other females, while she distrusts, hates, or fears men. This is often countered by a strange curiosity about men, which she and the men she tries to date are confused by. Can I continue? This ambivalence can make her extremely seductive, needy, clingy, and cause severe symptoms of the seduce and withhold syndrome. As soon as a man gets close to her, she withdraws, only to come back to ask for more after he becomes distant. She can break the heart of a weak man who tries to prove that he's different, attempts to rescue her from her fears, and so becomes codependent as she lures him into her pathological cat and mouse game. Do you remember I had a dream about a siren? Fucking. Now listen. Within the limits of her domain and household, family, and female oriented work environment, and it gives examples of female environments. Such a woman may seem grounded and self confident. Outside those limits, she leaves the work and responsibility for creating functional society to men and psychologically healthier women. Fucking amen, man. Okay. More. This is stage 2. Men as a father, God or king. She wants his approval. The self esteem of a woman in this stage is directly connected to the response and approval that she receives from men. She is often driven by a need to be seen as the most attractive female and constantly monitors her value by her internalized masculine judgment and through externalized male reflection. This may lead to a split in her personality when she imitates male behavior in order to be liked by men, and other times represents herself as a sexually seductive femme fatale to be desired. She either hides behind a feminine mask of beautiful appearance, a graceful, charming manner, and entertaining wit, or develops a tomboyish attitude through teasing, competing, and challenging, or some other facade that suggests success. Women in this stage gravitate towards men that they perceive to be more attractive, intelligent, and exciting than they could ever be themselves. They often try to live up to the desirable men's expectations of the perfect mate through dietary restrictions, vigorous physical exercise, cosmetic surgery, adapting to men's intellectual interests, developing new talents, and being sexually available. If a woman remains in this stage, she's at great risk of entering a profound depression when her beauty and sexual attractiveness wanes, and the number of heads that she is turning and the men who admire her diminishes. She may then isolate herself from all intimate relationships because her perfectionism overrides her ability to be compassionate and to forgive her own and others' mistakes. This may lead her to withdraw into a cold and bitter self-denial, in which her anxieties create all kinds of psychosomatic illnesses such as panic attacks, vomiting, heart problems, fatigue, and body aches. A strong, conscious, and patient man can support a woman in this stage to find her own worth, passions, and identity independent of male approval, which then allows her to enter stage 3 of her animus complex development. Guess who that fucking strong, conscious, and patient fucking idiot man is? Me! I'm an angel. Now, number 3, men as hero. She wants him to take care of her. A woman in stage 3 wants a man as a protector and provider with strength, courage, and ability who can meet her needs, cherish her, and marry her. He represents her ideal, if often unrealistic, image of the knight in shining armor who fulfills her expectations for looks, intelligence, solid reputation, stable finances, generosity, loyalty, kindness, care, integrity, faithfulness. To be in a good bargaining position, this woman will focus on her appearance, health, and fitness, and will adapt to the world of men by seeking higher education, pursuing career, fighting for social justice, or saving a failing business. She will appear as self affirming and expects something in return. She functions well in the competitive world of men, sees herself as equal, is willing to share responsibilities, and will contribute and perform as long as her partner is able to provide more in return. Since women want to marry up, as long as he meets her expectations for financial security, social status, and devotion, she will support him to achieve his full potential while often denying such achievements to herself. This can lead later to feelings of resentment and anger when she sees that she has been denied the right to experience her own competence, and where partner or husband fails to live up to her ever growing expectations for more bigger house, car, vacation, career, income. Some women in this stage will enter an inward journey once they acknowledge the transitory nature of their physical attractiveness, question their ability to succeed with men, bump up against the limitations of finding acceptance in the male world, or hit the glass ceiling. This may lead women to the restoration of their female authority as they take responsibility for their own identity and move into stage 4 of their animus complex. Stage 4. Men as independent beings. She wants her independence. A woman in stage 4 makes an active choice in favor of her self interest and self fulfillment, independent of men, a partner, or husband. You'll see like a lot of divorced women or widows in this stage because they didn't go from stage 3 to stage 5. They're stuck in this. This to me sounds like hell. I hate dealing with these types of women because it's always your fucking fault. Now, listen. Um, the transition takes place with the realization that she has constructed her own experiences throughout her lifetime in relationship to men and now wants to find her own identity. She will stop trying to be perfect in all things in order to please her partner, who was a heroic father figure in the previous stage, as she becomes emotionally free from his approval and support. Having discovered her own source of worthiness and foundation, she is working to restore her female authority. Financial independence through her own labor or through other sources of money available to women such as are only available to women, such as divorcing well, alimony, child support payments, generous lovers, support from parents, social security, etc., etc. And those are necessary for the transition. So you see, like women that married up that are unhappy with the partner choice they made, and then it takes some event in the life, and then they have to be supported in some way in order to go on the inward journey. Um, Men can notice when their partners enter into stage 4 of their animus development when they start to challenge them more often, care less about their needs, seek their financial independence, and refuse to take responsibility for holding the relationship together. This sounds so fucking on point. If a man is in a partnership with a woman in this stage, it is important to know that it is not his fault, that her pain of staying will eventually be greater than her fear of leaving, and that there's nothing he can do but take care of himself emotionally and sexually, protect the financial assets that are legitimately his, and if he can, support his former partner with love, compassion in her transition. Once separated and or divorced, she will feel free from the evaluation and needs of men for the first time in her fucking life. I have to keep going. It might help somebody. These newly single women are then much occupied with challenging work, their animals and children, social activities, educational advancements, maintaining their household hobbies, world travel, and their friendships. At the same time, they look down at women who show more feminine or balanced qualities and who desire to be or are in a committed partnership with a man. To women in stage 4, partnered women still seem to be in the pitiful stage 2 or 3 of dependence on a male partner, which they have just escaped. However, married women may have actually advanced into stage 5, which women in stage 4 cannot fathom yet. Bitch. They discredit partnered women as unevolved and often compete socially and professionally with them in merciless ways. It can even happen in your own fucking family. Women in stage 4 frequently break with the conventional role of a caring mother, show tough love, and feel fulfilled outside of a partnership with a man. This, on the outside, is what I call a cunt. But fucking knowing what's happening psychologically, holy fuck, man. This like opened so many doors. It's not done. This is still stage 4. Still, there remains an underlying fear of isolation, especially in older women, when concerns about the disappearance of their skills and autonomy in the midst of a crisis arise. This often leads to feelings of ambivalence. On one side, there's a secret longing for the stability and support that a partnership with a man could provide during times of stress, fatigue, loneliness, or desire for sex. On the other side, there's a fear of becoming emotionally dependent and diminished, taken advantage of, dominated, or repressed again. Frequent complaints about the lack of good men who are physically fit and attractive, highly intelligent, successful, accomplished, mature, kind, loving, generous, evolved, supportive, spiritual, and available when they want them, but who remain flexible and demanding and unattached otherwise, are a hallmark of women in stage 4. First of all, did that not describe all those fucking things? I'm 100% all of that. And I have tons of self doubt. Becoming men hating die-hard singles, settling for friends with benefits whom they string along, or engaging in serial monogamy are often the only solutions that seem to solve their dilemma. Fuck me. Fuck me, wow. I can't give you specifics. But this was, oh my god, that's what it is. We're all on the same fucking journey. And I can see where people are at which stage, or even as I'm dating someone, they go through stages. Wait till I get to me. Wait till you hear how cool I am. Stage 5 of the Animus. Men as first of all, I was fucking writing notes in here, learning about this shit, and this website, man projects his anima in an actual woman. Women do with their animus. The first that fuck you. This website, integralrelationship.com, anima animus complex development. Fucking magic. What have I been doing? Can I continue? Are you ready for the last part? Number 5. Men as equal partners. She wants him as an equal and opposite partner. Just as a man, a woman in stage 5 of her animus development has accepted that conflict and ambivalence are intrinsic to human relationships and has realized the significance of a partnership to balance her further psychological growth and spiritual awakening. Having fully claimed her own authority after transcending her animus complex, she no longer sees men as alien, superior, inferior, or independent. She finally comes to realize that the idea of living and going it alone was a distorted conception of human existence because no one lives alone. She sees that in being human, we have a variety of economic, physical, sexual, psychological, and spiritual needs that cannot be met by living alone. At last, she has the insight that a balanced personality at all levels of her being always develops in a self other conception and never through the discovery of independent self. This woman then desires the material, intellectual, emotional, sexual, and spiritual energy that is co created with a man who meets her as an opposite and equal, which means opposite feminine and masculine polarities with equal levels of consciousness, rights, and responsibilities. Since she may have never experienced a stage 5 partnership, she needs guidance from a man in stage 5 of his anima development who's able to meet her in an integrally informed way. These couples can then form interdependent partnerships in which they heal, learn, grow, and awaken together and enjoy family and social activities together while contributing to the well being of fucking others. Amazing. 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 How many fucking people, like, think about the people in your life. You can put them in each of those. You can put them in each of those. And I'm like looking in the past, I'm like, oh, that's where that was. That's where that became. That's where it is. And what oh what's gonna be the fucking end? Oh god. Do you want to hear about stages of anima development in men? Also, I feel so much lighter. Really, knowledge is everything. Why I wasn't I felt like there's so much to know about psychology. It's a fucking never ending story, which was one of my favorite movies growing up. Uh, Even though I never saw it, really had a desire to. I tried to watch it as an adult. It was garbage. Um, but the guy rides some kind of like giant dragon dog. I don't know the fuck. I don't remember his name. Anyways, I like retreated from the world and started learning and all this stuff, and then I just got burned out. It's like, how much can you fucking read? It's like, it stopped sticking because I stopped having interest in it. Like, let the world pass me by. I was like, oh, I have to be here too while I figure things out, pay taxes or whatever the fuck. Um, but holy fuck, like this fucking Jung, man, my hero. If he didn't do this, I mean, I guess it still happens. You just don't. The knowledge just the knowledge doesn't change the outcome. It changes how you feel about it, right? I'm for sure allergic to these. Like as soon as like I feel terrible. But here we go. I'm getting leaner and I hate it. I mean, deal with it later. Um, it's cool seeing more abs. and striations, but like if my arms don't fill my shirt out, I'm like, oh no, what did I do? Okay, onward we go. Can I sit up straight? I was seeing if I still have muscle. I guess all right. It's all right. Woman as mother. Sorry, stages of anima development in men. Number one, woman as mother. He needs a mommy to take care of him. I don't like how they phrase that. It seems kind of, you know, it's like a little jabby. In the first stage, a man's anima is completely tied up with the mother. She is not necessarily his personal mother, but the image of a woman who is a faithful provider of nourishment, security, and love. She represents all that is natural, instinctual, and biological. A man with an anima complex of this type cannot function well without a vital connection to a woman, and easily falls prey to being controlled and exploited by her. He frequently suffers from impotence, or has no sexual desire at all, and is therefore called a mama's boy. This type of anima possession also manifests through fear of accidents or disease, or a dullness of personality. The Greek sirens and the German Lorelei personified these dangerous aspects of the anima, which may even lead a man to his death through suicide over a lost love relationship. I remember when I was that. I remember. I didn't know what that was. Uh, the relationship that I had with my girl best friend that eventually we tried to make it romantic. It was she provided the security of a mother. She filled that role, and there was no fucking sexual desire. No sexual desire. So, if I fucking knew this, I could have avoided so much. Number two, woman as a sex object. He wants her to make him feel good. In the second stage, the anima is a collective sexual image. She's Marilyn Monroe, Madonna, Playboy model. Men in stage two are often Don Juans who see all women as sex objects and engage in repeated sexual adventures, which sometimes develop into sexual addictions. These relationships, these relationships are inevitably, it actually says invariably, whatever, short-lived, because he's not faithful, is always looking for his next conquest, and no woman can ever live up to his unrealistic image of the ideal female partner. I don't think I ever related to that, to be honest with you. Um, there was a period of time, I think, that matches a little bit, where after I found out my girlfriend had a double life and I was the other guy, that I didn't want to have any monogamous. I didn't want to get married to have kids. So everything would have been short-lived. Um, and then the only thing that I needed from women at the time would have been sex. Um, but at the same time, I've always been kind of reluctant to get, unless there's substances involved, uh, sexually, like it's revealing too much of yourself. I feel like it should be. I don't want to just have sex with random people. I've never been that person. It's different when you're having sex with someone that you love than when you're having sex. And every time I tried to just plug it into a different outlet, I was like, "Oh, this makes me feel bad." My ears ringing. Ready for number three? Woman is wife. He wants her loyalty and support. In the third stage of his anima complex development, a man becomes ready to care for a wife and be devoted to his family. He's the loving protector and provider that women in the equivalent stage 3 of their animus development seek. Men with this anima accept their partner as she is, as long as she fulfills her role as supportive, undemanding, caring, and faithful wife, available sex partner, and loving mother to his children. His sexuality is usually integrated into their relationship and not an autonomous function that drives him into promiscuity. He can differentiate between love and lust, which allows him to create a lasting partnership if she stays, because he can tell the difference between making someone the object of his sexual desire and deriving the benefits of being a faithful husband to his partner. That doesn't miss me with that shit. That doesn't appear to me. Appeal, sorry. Women, just to have a wife. Uh, no, I'm not doing it. Number four, there. You want to hear that? Maybe I skipped three. Number four, women as a guide to creativity and awakening. I sent I sent the I sent this website to one person and they're already responding. Okay, so Women as Guide to Creativity and Awakening. He struggles with her need for independence. In the fourth stage, a man's anima functions as a guide to his inner life. As women in stage four of their animus complex development become emotionally and financially independent from men, they often turn away and abandon their husbands' partners against their will. This turn of events often challenges the men who are so left behind to seek other sources of appreciation, value, significance, fulfillment, happiness, aliveness, passion, joy, purpose, peace, and love outside a relationship. Through their quest, a desire to answer life's deeper questions of who am I? Where do I come from? Why am I here? What is the meaning of my life? What should I do? What is my purpose? And where do I go? I fucking just asked this. Motherfucker, this is where I am. Contemplating these questions, reading books like the one that you are holding right now, meditating or seeking a bond with others on a similar path in men's groups, New Age churches, and personal growth workshops. I would never do that. Allow men in this stage to bring deeper levels of their unconscious anima into awareness. As they do so, they experience a liberating process of awakening to their authentic nature, true purpose, genuine passions, and capacity to love unconditionally, all independently of a partnership with a woman. That's what I'm fucking learning right now. On the flip side, these men may act like they are having a midlife crisis. All right, I'm like, I already did that. Become commitment phobic. Nope. Avoid deeper intimacy with women altogether or engage in serial monogamy or polyamory so as to avoid sacrificing their newfound freedom or being limited by one partnership. As such, this entire life experience represents only a partial awakening, as the idea of living alone is not integral, fully realized, or ultimate realization of, or the ultimate realization of human development. The partial awakening is transcended when a man enters stage five of his anima development. So I feel like there's been gray areas where I've been in a combination of these things or I skipped some shit. But listen to this. And this is, I think, where I'm at. Women as equal partner. He meets her as an opposite and equal partner. Similar to women in this stage, a man in stage 5 of his anima complex development has accepted the fact that conflicts and ambivalence are intrinsic to human relationships and sees how their resolution contributes to his ongoing healing, personal growth, and spiritual realization. He feels confident, secure, and comfortable to express his authentic sexual essence, which tends to be masculine heterosexual men, while he embraces his feminine anima. This self acceptance allows him to invite differing views, experiences, and feelings of his female partner without feeling threatened, offended, or puzzled by them. Her authentic stage 5 feminine qualities naturally complement his masculinity and vice versa, since he has found his own purposeful identity that does not depend on her inspiration, support, or approval. He appreciates his partner's independent authority and doesn't feel responsibility, shame, or insecurity if she's unhappy. Even though he shows empathy, care, and devotion and is supportive when requested, and enjoys her all the more when she's happy. He neither clings nor pushes her away, but fully opens to embrace her at all levels of his being when they are together and stays content and fulfilled when they are apart. This all embracing equanimity allows him to enter into a mature monogamous relationship as an opposite and equal partner, which itself opens the door to radically new life experiences, emotional healing processes, and deeper spiritual realizations, which in turn often become the foundation of altruistic acts of kindness and service towards others. Bruh. I was reading the comments. Um, a retarded person said, "There is such a smacks of sexism. Sorry, there is such a smack of sexism and stereotyping in this description of feminine stages described here. I think there are much deeper ways of seeing this topic, and this like, how fucking stupid do you have to be to complain about? Fuck you. Like this well thought out thing, and then some dickhead is just like, um, well, sometimes I'm male and sometimes I'm female. Shut up. No one fucking cares. Do the work first, idiot. Maybe you wouldn't have the problem. I didn't read the first part. Interesting. Anyways, so I feel like I was in stage 5 and I fell out of it. And then now like some latent bullshit came up, things that I haven't fixed yet. Or like what Bill Burr says is there's no feminist in a house fire. Like once your feet is to the fire, you realize what you haven't dealt with yet. It's easy to have like the ideals when you're not in an emergency or you're not panicking, you know? So what do you have to be put through stress to find out how you react to stress. Like what is there that's stopping me from being where I want to be? So this I mean this stage 5 sounds like the only thing that I can and will settle for. And it'll be interesting to see how that manifests in my life if I found an anima. Like once I integrate my anima and do the inner healing and what am I looking for externally? What am I projecting on a potential partner? What is the unhealed parts of me? All this shit. During this time, when I figure that out, does my vibration change and then you know? Or am I already in 5 and I'm just supposed to trust the process? Just supposed to trust the universe to, you know? Because I feel like I know everything already, you know? I mean, not everything, but I've gone through this shit already. Um, the stage 1 of the animus, so like the woman's inner masculine, is like Tarzan. Like she's just attracted to like physical power. And then there's the like archetype of like the I think it was like a one-dimensional success, or I forgot how it was phrased. Man of action directs his power to something of great significance. So it's like someone who has social status. Stage 3 is the professor. represents the intellectual gifts of the woman. Stage 4, transcendent or Hermes. If a woman allows her animus to be her guide, he may become a mediator of the religious experience whereby life acquires new meaning. Tell me that ain't me. I'm fucking Hermes trice, thrice great. Trismegistus. Anyways, I still have to read about the Dark Knight of the Senses. So, okay, there's something I learned. Neville Goddard, who's a famous manifestation fucking guy, he talks about how if you want something, you have to have the emotion that you want in the future and the present. Feeling is the secret, just like the book The Secret. And people have been regurgitating the same idea. Fucking Dr. Joe Fuck Dispenza, sorry, um, is just regurgitating this shit as well. And uh, interestingly, I listened to something where Neville Goddard, he has an old timey voice, so it's kind of hard to listen to those things, but he said the secret of the Bible is that you are Jesus, you are God. So he always talks about you are God, uh, having a human experience, and you came here with amnesia for like the joy of figuring out again. There's nothing stopping you from having the life you want or the things that you want, etc. And then he talks about um, divine timings at work. The universe is conspiring in your favor always, and to act as if the universe is always conspiring in your favor. And on the subject of the Bible, there's a part in the Bible where Jesus is on the cross and being crucified, as they did, and he's stabbed 5 times. There's 5 cuts, and this was symbolic. Obviously, they didn't have last names back then. They don't know where the fuck the guy was born. They don't even have his real name. Who knows who fucking? Well, okay, he was stabbed 5 times, and then he fucking this. Like obviously, it's allegory. You have to be retarded to think it's literal. So 5 cuts represents the 5 senses. So man is literally getting rid of like the sin of the 5 senses to become one with God. So on the cross, he says, "My God, why have you forsaken me?" And the significance of that is it's the first time in the Bible he says, "My God," instead of "my Father." So it was showing the separation of I don't feel God, which is what I just fucking talked about. It's like I feel like God abandoned me. What the fuck? Um, and this is a process of purification. So there's nothing in this world that stimulates my senses that is more appealing to me than finishing whatever the fuck spiritual journey I'm on. Like I'm doing whatever this is, whatever it is, and I have to see it through. You know, there's nothing like there's nothing you can give me, bribe me with, whatever. Like I have to see where this goes and where it ends. So, um, learning about the dark night of the senses. Now, Plato's allegory of the cave, where you like confront your shadow. He's like you're in the abyss. Like all Jung took these ancient allegories and spiritual mumbo jumbos and put it into psychological terms. It is what we're here for. It's what everybody's going through. And without knowledge or mastery of the actual psychological components of it, we're just fucking rudderless ships. What are we here for? Like, nobody's happy. Um, I would say, like, I have an easier life. Like I was telling the girl last night. It's like I fucking work 10 hours a week sometimes. Like I don't do shit. I get paid more than most people, and obviously I could put more work in. But it was like all I've done is work on myself spiritually, and just the world has just started putting things together for me. That's how it should be. But there's still some, I know I'm missing something. I know I'm not at this the place that I had seen. It's like I The doors to heaven opened up. I like walked around there for a couple weeks. I was like, "Fucking, this is amazing." And like when you lose your attachment to things, when you lose your attachment to like sometimes I'll like scroll through a meme site and there'll be like a girl's ass or big boobs or whatever, and like it doesn't even register. I just scroll right past. I'm like, fucking, who cares? And then obviously anything that I can buy, it doesn't define me. Like I enjoy my cars. I enjoy having nice food. I enjoy these things, but um, they don't define me. I don't need people to know what I have. I don't like people knowing what I have. And then my appearance fluctuates quite a bit. I feel. Um, I maintain like a decent standard. I'm never fucking fat. I never look fucking homeless. But there's this integration with my spiritual, like my creator or whatever it is, that I know I'm not all the way complete with. And maybe the feeling that I'm not complete is what's making me incomplete. Because everything that it says in here to me is self evident. It's like, oh, this is obviously the truth. And I see it in everybody's. I'm like thinking about specific people, and I'm like, oh, that's that. Oh, that person's there. Oh, this person's there, and that's why they have this opinion. That's why they have that thought. That's why they have, and their pain is from this, and that's why I connect all the fucking dots. I see it. I see it very clearly, and then it's like I don't know. It feels like I dropped myself into a video game, and I'm a level one character playing the hardest level. Because now, fucking what? Now what? Um, I feel almost like I've been through this before. Like I'm relearning things. Now, my dreams, the dream of the siren, it said your anima is represented as a siren. So my inner female energy is this fucking demonic bitch that's trying to kill me, consume me. And then in my dream, my action was to embrace it, was to hug it and kiss it and give it love, not knowing the significance of that. Like in the dream, I did that. And then weirdly, the spiritual journey I'm on is directly correlated to me figuring out like my projections onto female partners, onto females in general, and healing that internal thing to affect the external rather than try to affect the external to heal the internal. So, um, thank you, YouTube. I I really appreciate that these ideas are so widely available for you if you look, and you can easily digest and regurgitate this information to people. I don't know if I'll ever have the stages memorized and the anima, sorry. The female inside me, the first stage is Eve. Second stage is Helen, as in Helen of Troy. Third stage is Mary, as in Mother of Jesus. And the fourth is Sophia. So the third, which is Mary, is like a spiritual, non sexual entity. And it's like too idealized. And fourth has a component of the third. But the third, Mary, lacks a woman's wild side. That's like the spark that you need. I need. I thought I was sicker and there's no way to have like a healthy. How do you have a healthy relationship with someone who has that spark They just have to do the work. They have to be at 5. And it's an individual responsibility thing. There's nothing I can do to, you know what I mean? Well, more than I've already done, at least. You know? A strong, conscious, and patient man or a good psychotherapist can support a woman in this stage to find her own worth, passions, and identity, independent of male approval, which then allows her to enter into stage 3. And stage 3 is where she wants a man as a protector and provider. Social status, marry up. How fucking crazy. Some women in this stage will enter an inward journey once they acknowledge the transitory nature of their physical attractiveness, question their ability to succeed with men, bump against limitations of finding acceptance in the male world, or hit a glass ceiling. This may lead women to the restoration of their female authority as they take responsibility for their own identity and move into stage 4. Having your own identity. Individuation. All right, well, that was class for today. It's 4:40 p.m. I'm gonna keep learning because if what I have learned so far is so helpful to people, then what I'm about to learn in this time will be more of the same. Allows me to be better at my job, not my slavery job here in the real world, but like my job as like God put me on a path. I've had a fucking rough go at it. So when people are stuck, when people need help or encouragement or understanding, I'm here. I'll help any way I can. And knowledge is power. All right. Hopefully you can hear me this time. And thank you for the feedback, everybody. Tell me I looked and sounded like shit. It's like, yeah, that's how I felt. Fuck you. I already know. But now I have a heading. It's like, oh, this is everything's happening for a reason, as I suspected. I'm at a new level of the game I haven't been at, so I have to double down. It's only one way, and it's forward. Okay, so here we go. I'll see what else I learn and share it, and hopefully, good things come from it. Goodbye.